so today I want to talk about the two wars that the United States is supporting, but doing in completely a bipolar way, a completely hypocritical way. So let's start real quick with Ukraine. We are supporting Ukraine 100%. We will not even entertain the idea of Ukraine talking a peace deal with Russia. In fact, we want to move long-range missiles into Ukraine so that they can launch long-range missiles into the heart of Russia and do some real damage to the Russians. Now, the Russians' response to this is they've changed their nuclear plan and have said that if any long-range missiles come into Russia proper and start hitting them, they will consider that not only an act of war by the country launching, but the country controlling and who gave the missiles to them. Because the missiles have to be controlled by NATO or the United States. The missiles don't work unless they're working off our satellites. So we're saying it's the Ukraine launching them, but we gave them to them. We control the targeting. We control where they hit. That doesn't fly with Russia. They're like, you're not allowed to give them long-range missiles. You start having them hit us with long-range missiles, we're going to respond. And they changed their nuclear rules to state that if long-range missiles are shot into Russia, the alliance countries, the countries that are supporting the launches, are committing an act of war, and Russia can respond with up to nuclear missiles. Okay, so let's just play this out. We move long-range missiles into Ukraine. They launch them, and let's say they hit the Kremlin, because they do that or whatever. They launch them and hit something of military value in Russia. Russia then goes, well, that missile was launched by NATO countries, by a NATO country. Therefore, NATO has committed an act of war. So let us respond and let us launch some of our supersonic missiles with nuclear warheads, and let's just we'll send one missile into the United Kingdom and hit a military target. We'll send one missile into Poland and take out their capital. We'll send a missile into France and destroy one of their military targets near Paris. That will scare the French, and they can do that now. They're saying they're going to do that. Okay, Putin is an ex-KGB assassin. He kills people that disagree with him in his country. And we're sitting here saying he's bluffing? Are you kidding me? It's insanity. Okay, now let's juxtapose what we're doing in Ukraine right now and look at Israel. Israel was attacked on October 7th. They then proceeded to go into Gaza and start killing terrorists. Okay? And we've been screaming at them to do a ceasefire and a peace deal with them for the past year. They finally have almost killed all the terrorists and Hamas terrorists and finished in Gaza. Now, during this year, to their north, out of Lebanon, Hezbollah has been shooting missiles into northern Israel. They had to evacuate the entire north of their country, 100,000 plus people. And every day, hundreds of missiles are launched into northern Israel for a year. Now that they're done with Hamas, they've now turned to Hezbollah, and they totally have kicked Hezbollah's butt. And what are we doing? We're screaming, hey, you need to have a ceasefire. You need to slow your roll. Stop doing that. These guys launched hundreds of missiles every day for a year into northern Israel to kill Israeli citizens. Not military targets, Israeli citizens. And they've gone in and very surgically taken out a great deal of they killed the top 20 of their leaders, and they took out all their middle management with their Operation Grim Reaper, where all their pagers exploded. By the way, most awesome intelligence targeting of a group I've ever heard of in my entire life. That stuff isn't even in movies, what they did. But that's just a wow on a different level from a guy who reads spy novels. Okay, so we're yelling at them, you need to do a peace deal, you need to quit. And they're like, we got them on the ropes. We're just going to keep pounding them like they pounded us with missiles until, just like Hamas, Hezbollah is no longer a threat. They still have people, they still have missiles. They'll rebuild their command structure and they'll start launching at us again. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to keep hitting them. So then, Iran, they launched all these ballistic missiles into Israel at 2 of their air bases. They didn't target civilians so much. A few hit in civilian areas, but most of it is focused at military targets. But here's the thing: is that's 182 missiles that went into Israel. What they launched from Iran was 400. Half their missiles didn't make it. They tried to shoot 400 ballistic missiles into Israel. They only got half into Israel. Out of that, Israel knocked down quite a few of them. The United States took out some of them in flight, and some of them hit the ground. But their targeting system, just like half of their missiles didn't make it, their targeting system seemed to kind of suck. So they really didn't hit these military air bases very well. And so no Israelis died, and no aircraft got damaged, to our knowledge. So it was kind of complete failure, just like when they shot the 300 drones and ballistic missiles at Israel. Those 300 got intercepted, and that was a big failure. So what does our country do? We say, okay, you can hit them back, but nothing too bad, just something light, okay? A proportional response. Okay, what's a proportional response? Do you think we should shoot 182 ballistic missiles back at Iran? Because Israel's missiles won't miss their targets, and they won't be stopped. That's a proportional response. Oh, what about that 300 they shot earlier? Maybe we should shoot 500 unmanned explosive devices into Iran and hit targets. Oh, no, nothing that big. Nothing. Oh, no, that's not proportional. Sounds proportional to me. But nevertheless, Israel has a plan for Iran. They're going to do something not unlike the pager thing. They've been setting something up, I've heard. And we just have to sit back and wait and see what happens. I think they're going to hit them with something that basically takes the country kind of offline and then makes them ripe to be able to send in and bomb, say, their nuclear facilities and bomb their anti-aircraft batteries and bomb their ballistic missile areas. Because think about what Israel wants. They don't want them shooting at them anymore, so they want to take that out. They don't want them shooting a nuke at them, so they really want to take that out. Then the question is do they go after their money, which is their oil, which can be shut down with blowing up one island? They're totally exposed in Iran because all their oil goes through one place to get on a ship to be sent out. So if they want to, they can completely shut down the oil industry in Iran just with minimal effort because it's all goes to one place to be loaded. They just take out that one island that the tankers go to, and they're done for years a couple years before they can rebuild it. But here's the thing is, policy 1, Ukraine. No peace, escalate war, even though nuclear war is threatened. That's policy 1. Policy 2, Israel. Hold back Israel at any cost. Tell them to make peace deals. Tell them not to attack their enemies. Are we seeing a little hypocriticalness, a little bipolarism here with the United States? One is all-out war, risking nuclear, thermal war, death of every human on earth, and that's okay. But Israel, surgical strikes with restraint, taking out their enemy's infrastructure for their own protection, that's bad? Are you kidding me? This is what our politicians, I'm not talking about, the president. I'm talking about the people around the president. I'm talking about the people in the military. There are no adults at the table right now in Washington. It's as if they're under some strange spell that's making them try to commit suicide for Western democracies, okay? And that's actually what I believe it is. I believe that whatever restraining forces that were in Western civilization, whatever angels protected America, the United Kingdom, and all that protected us from being influenced by bad angels like in Iran and the other Islamic countries, that those restraining angels have now been removed by God, and from our own behavior, our own disobedience to God, He's removed these restraining figures, and now the fallen angels of the devils are whispering into the ears of the people in these countries, telling them to escalate with Russia and not to support Israel. Because the policies and the mindset are just so bipolar. That's the only thing I can think that it could be, is a supernatural influence causing complete stupidity on one side and complete stupidity on the other. Where there should be restraint in Ukraine and support for Israel, we have the reverse of both. And we're risking everyone on our time. But the good news is I've read the end of the book, and the end of the book says that we're not all going to die from thermonuclear war. Although that's what we're driving fast at right now. The nuclear clock is closer to midnight than even the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's 80 seconds to midnight. It's never been this much danger of nuclear war since nuclear bombs were created. We've never been at this high of a risk level until right now, this instant. So, again, please pray for our country. The only thing I can think at this point that could help is prayer. Pray for our country, pray for the peace in Israel, pray for the world, and hopefully we have a respite so that we can have maybe a resurgence, but I don't know at this point. So, again, I'm going to be praying, and again, just God, thank you for all the blessings you give upon us. Please protect us with your holiness and your umbrella. Please, may your will be done, not our own. Thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died and was raised so that our sins